Hey everyone, Ronnie Rowe back again this week for another rendition of my cross stitch channel. Um, I'm really happy this week. This week has been fabulous for me. I know all of you are looking at my background. I cleaned up this week. Man, I have spent countless hours this week trying to rearrange my office, trying to make things look a little better because the videos I've been putting out, you've seen the old background. But this week I made a conscientious effort to clean everything up, straighten some things up, and I'm thrilled with it. I know you are. I mean, you just look behind me at the difference in what's now and what was. I mean, if you all you have to do is put a little effort into something and you can get it done. And that's what I've done all week. I was able to get some stitching done this week. Answered some questions. Still got my morning swims in. But everything went really good this week. So anyway, but I'm really happy on the cleanup effort and straightening things up. And so I can tell a big difference, and I know you can too. And so I know I'm very, very pleased with this. So this is probably what we're going to be going with for the foreseeable future until I get a chance to clean up some more. But made great strides this week, and I'm really thrilled about that. Hope each and every one of you had a wonderful week this week, safe week, and got a lot of stitching done. I got a lot of questions this week, a lot of I actually got some phone calls this week, and got some emails on things that people wanted me to do. Um, One thing I got was a lady contacted me, wanted to know if they could add a name to one of my charts. It was the one I did with the trumpet, the musical instrument. I'm working on that. That's trying to find a place around there where I could go back and look at the chart I originally did. She wanted to put another name on it. I had some names like Marcellus, who played trumpet, Louis Armstrong, um, and others. But anyway, I'm working on that. That was something was addressed to me. Another person wanted to know if I could do some what I do for Christmas. Do I do some Christmas designs? And I've thought about that for a long time now, and many years. And there is so much out there on Christmas. I mean, lots and lots of stuff for Christmas, and I'm not quite sure I could do it justice. Anything I could come up with, so I'd come up with some stuff, but it's probably already been done a zillion times, and so probably won't do anything for Christmas this year as far as line cross stitch goes. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the progress I've been making on Morning Light. Oh, by the way, Morning Light still. Any of you out there want a copy, a PDF file of Morning Light, send me an email. I'll send you a PDF file of the design, absolutely free at no cost to you. Really, and if you like that, please, by all means, take advantage of that now. Also, I'd like for you to hit the little subscribe button on the channel. That would help me a whole lot if you'll do that. So I appreciate those two things. I'm going to show you Morning Light. Like I say, I got some pictures. Oh, by the way, today in the mail, I got 4 new pictures back. I got some pictures back that I had lent a shop in Oklahoma, the Silver Needle, after the needlework market in March. They took some of my models back with them, and I got them back in the mail today. They've had them all summer and through the fall, and I needed them back right now for a show that I'm going to be doing. And so, but anyway, I appreciate their sending them back to me. I'm going to be showing those to you. Some older ones, not that old, but some that I've had in Nashville that I lent this shop. Going to show you what I'm doing on Morning Light. Talk about my new design that I'm coming up with. The one I've been talking about, the mountains and the little boathouse. But since I last talked about that, I got interested in this swimming thing. I wanted to do a swimming thing. And so I've been working hard on that, and I've got a lot done. And I'm going to show you a video tonight about 2 programs that the way I go about capturing everything and putting it all together. And it's going to be the swimming design that I've come up with. So you'll see that shortly. But for right now, what I like to do is show you morning light, where I've gone. I got one lady, Tammy. I don't know how you're doing with yours. She sent me a PDF file of where she is. She's probably ahead of me now, but anyway, that's where I am. So morning light right now, as you can see, get it over here. I've got the tree, the top of the wood pile, all of this over in this area. They say this is where the light's going to come down on the house. It's going to fit right in this area. So I've got a little bit more to go. And so a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I ought to be finished this. We started this some time ago. And like I say, all of my designs, they take a while. They take a while to do. But anyway, that's why I don't put out a whole lot of stuff, because it just takes me so long. But anyway, the pictures that I got back today that I want to show you. First one, I've got 2 pictures of the musical instruments that I got back, and they got glass in them. I got back today. This was the one I lent the piano. I did several. Let me tilt this down. You won't get the glare as bad. But this was the one piano. This was framed in the silver frame, metal frame, as I always do, with 2 pieces of white mat board. And that was the piano, and I got that back today. So anyway, interesting type design. It was doing a piano. I come up with something, a black piano. How do you make it look like it? Well, I put a sun ray on it and other things. And so it turned out pretty good. And that's been pretty good hit and everything. People really like this one. The next one I want to show you, my cleaned up office. The next one I want to show you is the one I really like, violin, fiddle violin. That has got a lot of stuff in it. That's got all kinds. I got stairways coming down here. This was a design that I did back in several years ago when I was doing the row houses. That's part of the row house. I stuck in this. So anyway, it's got a lot of color, kind of abstract, if you will. Have people dancing in here. If you look closely, it's got a light in here, street light, and other things that I put in it. And so found that anyway, I really enjoyed that. That's a lot of color. So and again, all of these are out on my SD site. And anyway, this is 2 of the musical instruments I got back today. The other 2 that I lent the shop in Oklahoma, they wanted to take. One of them was horses running. This is when I decided to do horses, and I don't think it was about 6 colors or so in these. A lot of the white on this is the background of the horses, and thought that was kind of cool and everything. I like that. There was I was, I guess, in my horse mode. I don't know. I had to come up with something, so I figured why not do some horses. But anyway, this is one of the 3 horse designs that I did a couple of years ago. That's one of the horses. The other one was the first one I did, and this one I wanted to do a white horse on a white background. So how do you do a white horse on a white background? Well, you put something around it. All of this white in here. This white in here, this is all fabric. And so by putting all the various shades of light shades, pale, and the greens and the cream colors around to form a face of this horse, and then put the black horse in front of it, to me worked very well. So that is the white horse. And so anyway, this is also on the SD site. But those 4 pictures are ones I got back today. What we're going to be doing, starting to work on, I'm getting back to, I really haven't done a whole lot to it. This is the sketches we're going to be using for the background of the mountains and the little house and the rocks. And I showed you this before, and I haven't really gotten a whole lot more done than this. So I got interested on the swimming one. And so that's what we're going to be showing you here now in a few seconds. So anyway, sit back. A lot of this is going to be involved with 2 programs. It's a graphic program, or iDraw. It used to be graphics, and now and also the Keynote. That is also the program that I put my final thing in. And I'm going to walk you through one of it. This is a small part of the process that I go through to put all this together to come out with this kind of stuff and the pictures. And so anyway, I'll say a few words after that. But anyway, right now, sit back and enjoy this brief presentation on how I do things. Here. The two programs I wanted to show you as part of my procedure when I do designs, one is called Graphics. It was formerly known as iDraw, and they upgraded and changed the name to Graphics. And that is the program that you're looking right here at. The other program that I wanted to show you is Keynote. This is the final program that I use to make my leaflets or put the charts all together. And I'm going to show you how that's done in a little bit. But anyway, going back to graphics, the first program, you'll see some things on the screen right here. This is one I've already started. I told you earlier about coming up with a new design. I wanted to do something with swimming because I go to the YMCA swimming a lot. What I'm going to do is I am going to be importing into this program a caption of a chart like you see here. In the process I go through of putting this and getting this into graphics to go into Keynote. The first thing I do is I go up and on my menu at the top, I go through and I say place, and my screen will come up as you can see right here of everything. And what I already know that I need to place is number 1. This is one I've already gone through and put all the X's and everything on. And when I paste that in, whoops, wrong. Let me go back and try something. I got to go down here to the design on this. And then when I go through and place this in here, number 1, let's try it again. As you can see, this is a big object that is placed in this graphics program. Now what I would do with this object has not been cropped. The reason I know it hasn't, because this is going in the upper left hand corner of my design, and this is the top of the design, the left hand side, and the right hand side you'll see a red mark. This is a red color, if you will, to show me where I need to crop. And I also have that at the very bottom of the design across here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going over to my magnifying glass and I am going to zoom out of this graphics program. And as you can see, this is what was just placed into the program. I go up to my tool, my selection tool, and I want to take this and move it out of my design over this area because I need to crop this right now. These two objects have already been cropped. Those have already been done the same way I'm showing you I'm doing this one. So the first thing I do is I try to find the little handles around. Those are the little dots, if you see the little squares around the design. I go up to my magnifying glass and I click on the top one where the very middle one would be. I have to go down to, and I zoom this up to 800%. Now what you're seeing is that same imported image is zoomed in at 800%. I go up to my selection tool. There's my little handle. I double click and I go through and I grab this and I go down, and there's the top, the very top of that design. I take and I scroll over to the right hand side where I had the red highlight area, and I go down and I find my little handle, and I want to make that on the left hand side of that 10 by 10 square right there. I go down to the bottom of this particular imported picture, and in the middle of this I will find at some point in time, there it is, the little square, and I go up and on the inside of that line. Now I've gotten 3 sides done. I go over to the left-hand side of that area and find the little square, and this is, go right to my line right here, and when I click outside, that object has been cropped. Now when I hit Command 0, that takes me back to this screen, a better looking view screen. Now I take this object we just worked with, bring it over here, and I know that these objects, these 2 objects, I've done with these the same as I did with this object. I know that if I take this object and I go up and I take and make that 5.805 inches and hit that, now it's the same size as these inches. And I know that will fit into my square with 7 across the top and 6 down the bottom. And all of my grid marks, all of my handles on this snap to the grid. And what I'm going to do is align each one of these up and show you how I get this together. So the first thing I'll do in this area right here, I will go down with my magnifying glass, click on it right there, and that brings it in this area. I'll go down here and make it 1600%, and there is that upper left-hand corner of my design, and I take my design and it will snap to those grid lines right there. Then I go back over to my magnifying glass, I zoom out into this corner right here, and I will find that it's not quite on the grid line, so I have to go up here to this little symbol so I'm not resizing the whole thing, just one area of it. Go up to my selection tool and grab that little guy, bring it down, and that's all snapped to the grid. And when I go back up to Control 0, it is in place. Now I've also done the same thing for these 2. This one right here snaps in place right here. This one right here would snap in place there. And you can see my swim coming together. I'm doing a butterfly. And that is what I start off with graphics. And obviously you have one of these squares over here, here, here to 28, and down the bottom also till the whole thing is filled in. The next process I go through to try and get all of this into Keynote so I can print it. If I go back up to Keynote, this right here is an older design, so I'm just going to move that out of the way in Keynote. And I know that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the top and 6 along the left-hand edge. So if I go back over to graphics and I go to my magnifying glass and I zoom in right here on this area, and I know that is 1 through 7 and 1 through 6. I'll go back 1. That magnifying, let's go back 1. So in order to get this and not have the grid lines, I'll go up to my tool. I will go up to my view area with guides, and I will hide my guides. They went away, so I don't have to worry about guides anymore. Then I'll go down to a screenshot tool that I have, and my screenshot tool would enable me to go through and set this thing up so that I can go right on this grid, this red right here, the lines, and I want to go 7, so I come over here to the 7 right here, and that side of the red line, and grab the handle here, go up to 6, and right there, that is my 7 by 6, my first square on sheet 1 in Keynote. And I will capture that. I just captured it. Now what I will do, and I captured that over to the side, and I'm calling that a screen. I'm gonna rename that what I just captured. I'm going to name it WW just for, let me see, rename it. Well, just leave it like it is. But anyway, I'll go up to Keynote and I will take what I just did and I will put that into Keynote. There's my swim. Now, I know right now that this one is not orientated right. So I need to take this image, go up to Arrange over here, and I need to rotate that 270 degrees. And there it is. There is my image right now on that sheet. And as you can see, it's not lining up real good because what my image needs to be, copying one I've done before, it's 879 by 756. So this image here is, type in 8.79 by 7.56, and that image just changed. Then I bring it up to right here, my guides in Keynote, to this particular corner right here, and there it is, all the lines. Then I can sit there and my one I went by, get rid of that. So now that is sheet number 1 in Keynote, ready to print and ready to be sent out. So that's the way, and I go through this. Obviously, sheet 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, until I get to the 28. Then I can do the next row on all my sheets. But this is the process I go through to get my graphs into Keynote so that I can print these and put them in the package and send them out. But in order to do that, that is the graphics, the iDraw is one step I go through to get all of this done. I know this is saying a lot in a very short amount of time, but this program, graphics right here, has a lot of capabilities I can do with this. I do a lot of layering with this. I can go through, like my red lines I've got locked, if I can turn those off. So this is my graph. This red line you see here in graphics, this is what I have personally built myself to fit what I do. I built all this to fit. So anyway, that's the way I go through and trying to put a design together. And I hope this has been somewhat informative, and we'll do more of this in the weeks to come, and hopefully everyone will get something out of this. So thank you very much. I told you I was cleaning up my background, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed that brief presentation on some things I go through to make the charts. I know everyone probably doesn't have all of these tools available to them, but they're relatively available somewhere. Like I've told people before, I use a Mac. I don't use a PC on everything that I do, but this can be done on a PC as well. I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. It is a process that I go through. It's a lengthy process. For each one takes a fairly amount of time to do. The biggest problem I have is coming up with an idea or coming up with something that I think that people would like. And like I say, the one I'm doing right now, working on this one, the butterfly and swim, I think it's going to be really good. I haven't made my mind up. I'm going to do it in black and white or just put a few colors into it. That's to be determined, but I'm getting there, and I should have something fairly shortly on that. So, because I'm really interested in that one, and I would like to get that one out by the first of the year. Don't know if I'll make it or not, but I'm certainly going to give it a try. Anyway, that's about all I have for this week. I hope each and every one of you have a very, very good week. We're going to do this again probably in next week, next Wednesday. Then we're going to go on a little Christmas break and everything, and probably won't get back to you the week of Christmas, but maybe the week after Christmas. I hopefully have another video. But in the meantime, keep stitching. Any questions, shoot them to my way. Again, the PDF file for Morning Light. Send me some a request, and I'll send you that PDF file. Again, Can't tell you how thrilled I am about my office and my back cleaning it up. I did a magnificent job. You can tell I spent a lot of time cleaning that up. I mean, I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments, but how well it looks, I think it looks great, but it's so much better than it was. But anyway, until the next time, please stitch, and by all means, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.